audience, and we're back with another episode of Let's Talk About It. I'm your host, Bethel, and these are my wonderful co-hosts. I have Tammy, Moni, and if you don't know, Sandra. Okay? As you know, Tia is not here with us. She's away on business. So, ladies, I have a good topic for us today. Tipping in America. I read recently, I think this is why I felt like we need to talk about tipping, because I read an article that said Americans love to tip. And I said, where did they get that? I mean, we tip because it's courteous.
Right.
And I mean, I thought tipping was supposed to be for showing that you appreciate the good service that you received, and you appreciate the person that waited on you.
Right.
But to actually say we love to tip, I mean, I thought that was a little bit too much. And then I feel like tipping has gone beyond what its purpose is. Okay, anytime, for instance, I went to, I want to say Panera Bread. I went there last week, as a matter of fact. And the cashier rung up something that I was purchasing, and she's the cashier, and when the receipt came out, it said, do you want to tip? How much do you want to tip? She was just a cashier. I mean, I come from way back in the day. It used to be like you're tipping waitresses, people who are actually serving you, bringing you stuff. Can I help you? And this and that. Not as soon as you get to the register and you want to order a biscuit.
Right.
What am I tipping you for? I mean, so if my knowledge of tipping is off, that's what I'm trying to understand here today. So we'll be back in a minute with this conversation. With the tipping question. Is tipping getting outrageous? Are they going too far with tipping? I mean, you go to some places and they already have the tipping included in the gratuity. So you don't even have a choice to say whether you want to tip that person or not. You included it already in my bill. How do you know whether I was pleased with this server or not?
Right.
So you just, I feel like I'm being strong-armed sometimes. I mean, ladies, what do you think?
I totally agree. I don't mind tipping, right?
But I don't mind tipping for good service.
If I feel like I'm being forced, like you're going to get less. Okay, so case in point. Sometimes I do order a meal online, whatever. My thing is, if I was in a restaurant, I would wait. You know what I mean? My food would come and different things like that. Then you would bring me my receipt. Then I would tip. But when it comes to ordering something online, you guys still put that in. How much tip? I haven't even swallowed the food yet. I didn't even pick it up yet. And you automatically want a tip, right? I don't understand.
Everybody wants a tip. Moni, I mean, did you work in the food industry?
I have. I have. So
what are your thoughts on that?
It's like it's crazy because being on the other side of the tipping. When I did, it was years ago. I used to work for Littleton's. I don't know if you know where that was. We made $2.73 an hour. Okay. So we lived off of our tips. So they didn't include it because back then the system you had to write out the receipt or whatever. So we depended on those tips. Now the rates are a little higher. The systems that the companies are using, you can automatically put that there. But me, on the other side, when I go out to eat and my bill is a certain amount, I don't need you including the gratuity. Let me decide what I want to give you.
Absolutely.
But now they're including that, and that I don't like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't force me to pay something I wasn't really wanting to pay you. If your service wasn't great, I still have to pay you this amount.
Right. And like you said, back in the day, if you wanted to leave a tip, you could. And if you didn't, you didn't.
Right.
But they're making you, whether you want to or not. This
Right.
is what we're being forced to do. And it's crazy. And that is what I don't like about it, because they've taken away our rights to decide whether we want to or not.
And they've taken away good customer service. Because
Yeah.
back then, they knew to work for the tip.
Right.
Come back to you. You okay? You want me to top that?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Now it's like, I know I'm gonna get my tip. You want hot water for
Yes.
what? You
Yes.
know, it's another form. It's another form of
It's encouraging
organized
bad
slavery.
service.
Yeah.
It's encouraging
It's
bad
encouraging,
service.
yes.
Yes, because they realize they don't even have to work hard for it. They're gonna get it anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know.
Prime example, I took my daughters out last Friday. We went out to dinner. The waitress didn't come back after we got our food. You supposed to come back and say, hey, how's everything? If you need refills. She was gone. So it didn't come back and say, are y'all ready for the check? My daughter said, Mom, don't you tip her? You know? But
She
me
didn't have to
knowing,
worry
okay,
about
a
it.
tip is for service and you didn't provide the proper service, then you feel kind of weird. You know?
Slighted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you're stuck in
Taken
it. 'Cause
advantage
what do we
of.
do? How do we say, I don't want that gratuity on my check because my service wasn't good? How do
Exactly.
we get out
And
of
then
it?
if you say that, they'll look at you like, oh, you don't want a tip? No, it's not that. You know what I'm saying? So the whole system of service, I think it's being belittled now.
Right.
You know, it's being belittled, and it's leaving the customer less satisfied.
Now we live in a day and time everybody pays with card. Right. So then when they bring the receipt back and you're like, oh, here's the card or whatever, blah, 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 then you got to write in the tip.
Now I appreciate that.
The thing about that is sometimes, I don't know if it's the server's fault or the restaurant's fault, they won't add in your tip. It'll just be the food. Sometimes it could just be, it is what it is. But nowadays you really have to bring your card and bring cash.
Yeah, I'm
Right?
cash
Really?
Now they have a thing called tip share where they have to tip everybody, like the people, I know the bartenders.
They
and then
share the tip.
They share the tip.
You tip it and they share it. They
But if I
split
didn't
it.
buy alcohol, I
Exactly.
don't
Why am I
feel the need to
tipping the
share.
bartender?
So that's when I give you the cash.
In your hand.
Because it goes directly to you and I write on your cash. That way, the powers that be don't know how much I left you.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm
But
saying?
guess what? And I feel like that they have demeaned that also.
Yeah.
Because if I can't tip, like you said, you have an exceptional waiter, you want to tip them. I appreciate your service.
Yeah.
But now they're saying, okay, no, you tip share, we're going to split it all the way down the line. So that keeps you from tipping the person that you really want to tip. Because is it fair he had to share his tip?
Right.
I'm giving it to him.
Yep.
Is it fair?
No.
It's not fair on him
Exactly.
either,
No.
because now he's not going to be bringing home. If he's a good waiter like that, he's cleaning up.
Right.
For them.
He's cleaning up. No, for being a good service person. He's making a lot because people love how he works, and they're tipping him all the time. You got the crappy waiter over there that don't never get nothing because you're crappy.
Right. Yeah.
But then also,
Is it shit?
you know what?
Yeah, but you're going to get something from this
Right.
man
And then
who's
there's
working
another
hard.
thing where, say for example, you know how they add the gratuity in, and the person might have had great service. You might have wanted to tip them more, but y'all just cheated your person because you included it in the tip.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
I might have wanted to leave you $100 tip.
But now I can't afford to, because the tip that I was giving you, you split it up all these ways. So now, and that's one of the conversations we had. So do we give him something extra? Now you paying more. I'm paying the gratuity, which is supposed to be the tip.
Right.
But tipping my service person, but you giving it out to everybody, and now he was slighted, and you feel like, should I give him a little bit more? Like,
Right.
I don't have it.
Maybe I should have cooked.
Right, exactly. That's how you
I
feel.
should have stayed home.
Now that paying more, I'm gonna tell you about that. Okay, let's say you order something on the menu, and it's $11. In the menu, it says $11, right? Just remember how much your items cost.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
but why do you have to? But no, I ordered from this menu.
No, you're gonna charge me what I
And
said.
then you're gonna charge me for what is here, because this is what I ordered. I didn't order that $13 meal. I ordered the $10 meal.
Right.
Most people are, you know what I mean? Then when it comes to possibly voiding, and this happened at a retail
do it
store
all
I
the
was at,
time.
and my item rang up like on the shelf, it said $15. But then when I get to the register, it's $19.99. The devil and his cousins are liars because I'm not paying $19.99 for that. So I asked the customer service person to come over. You know, can she void the item? She voided the item I seen on the screen. but my amount didn't change.
Oh, wow.
I said, isn't this beautiful?
Wow.
So I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna pay. All right. So then I go to customer service and I said, I see where she voided the item, but however, I still had to pay for it on my receipt. You gotta watch these stores. You gotta watch these stores and these restaurants.
And they banking on you, especially when you swiping with the card. They banking on you not paying attention. Because I go over my statement a lot. I'll be like, hey, where this number come from? And you know what I mean, when you're going over stuff. But we have a tendency not to look closely while we're in the midst of ordering stuff. You know, and they get you every time. Let me tell you something. If I charge, if I'm a store owner and we do millions of dollars, where you have millions of customers coming through for an entire year, and I jip each one of them out of a penny, and it's a million customers came, you know, it don't take much. We are funding these business people with their jets and their planes and how they're highfalutin living and all of this because a lot of them are stealing from us. Even if it's a penny. Do you know what that era and we were just in this era where people were saying, I don't have change. You know how that was going on?
Yeah.
And so they was keeping your change and all that. Like, you know how much money they...
And if you get 3 cents back, they feel like you...
And you're doing this to everybody. You know how much money that is?
I want all my pennies.
Yes, definitely check your receipt because, prime example, I'm not going to say what store, but it was a major chain store. Get to the car and I look at the receipt. There's an extra $72 unknown item. And I kept saying to myself, why is this higher than what I thought it was going to be? You know, and I look, it's a $72. Unknown. So I went right back to the store. What is this?
That's her
They gonna take everything out. Oh, we so sorry. I don't know how that happened.
Oh,
but had I not looked,
you know.
they would have got away with
And they have done others like that. They have not paid attention. They are stealing from they are stealing from us. So we have to pay attention. So audience, let us know what you feel. Are we as Americans tipping too much? Should we be happy to tip? What is your take on this? And we'll be back. And we're back with Tammy's Spotlight. Tammy, who are you spotlighting today?
Well, Bethel, I'm glad you asked. Hey fam, it's your girl Tam. And today I have for you Tamara Arthurist Hawkins. Let's talk about this book, Sleeping with the Devil. Now, we all run into some form of monsters in our lives, but just imagine sleeping with the devil. Now, this is her real life story, Saints. And, you gotta read this book. She also has a film on it. I mean, first of all, we have to be thankful that she made it through this because the devil is nothing to play with. So let's, as women, just be thankful that she made it through sleeping with the devil. Now, I'm going to let her tell you about it, and she'll tell you how you can get the book and pick it up, okay? All right. Peace out.
Hello, my name is Tamara Hawkins. I am the author of Falling in Love with the Devil. This book right here is a true story, my story. And it goes deep into a relationship of dating somebody bipolar and narcissistic. It goes deep into the relationship of me loving this person, although they fought with demons and substance abuse. They fought with alcoholism. But I never gave up on this person. Stayed by his side. I prayed and prayed. And this book will also go into all the trials and tribulations, the various types of abuse. But it also will let you know this is a love story. And that through this book, how I stayed by this person's side and never gave up on them. How even in the midst of everything that I endured, that this person still loved me and treated me well, despite all that he was up against. So I finally had to give it over to God. And in the midst of it all, I became a survivor. From this book, I also adapted 2 movies in which they'll be shown on Tubi soon. But in the meantime, if you would like to purchase a book or if you would like more information, please feel free to reach out to me. My Instagram, The Real Miss Tiva Star. That's The Real MSTIVA underscore star. And my Facebook is Tamara Arthur S. Hawkins. I look forward to meeting you.
Up next is Moni's health tips.
Hey guys, it's your girl Simone, aka Moni Z's. So today I want to talk to you about creating healthy habits. You know, sometimes we get lost in the sauce and we don't know what we need to do to stay consistent in our lives throughout our daily, and even when we're trying to do something that is good for our health. So today I want to talk about habits, okay? So it only takes 21 days to do something consistently that you'll incorporate in your life for the rest of your life if you stick to 21 days. So I want you to take the next 21 days, right? And do something that you've never done before that you want to do and create yourself a habit. So for example, if you don't drink enough water for the next 21 days, add an extra glass of water through your day. If you want to lose weight for the next 21 days, take a walk for 30 minutes, go to the gym 20 minutes, whatever you need to do when it comes to exercise, do it for the next 21 days. If you don't like vegetables or you want to incorporate more vegetables in your life, because we all need vegetables and fruits as well, so you want to put that on your plate for the next 21 days. And you know I'm big on mental health, so I want you to grab a journal and take the next 21 days and write something about your day, about how you're feeling. You know, take those 21 days and do it consistently, okay? So, and create that habit for yourself so that way you'll feel better and you know that you're making a change for the better, okay? So that's Moni Health Tip for today, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me.
Coming to us next is Ask Miss Sandra.
How do you do, everyone? Well, it's good to be back here for another segment of Ask Miss Sandra. I would just like to let you all know that the name of our production company is One Step Closer, and the name of the television show, or the web series, should I say, is Let's Talk About It. And the name of this segment is Ask Miss Sandra. Now, when you write in to Ask Miss Sandra, you could have a relationship question. That's fine. We'll discuss it. Perhaps you want a different perspective. Okay. All right. So we just not only talk about relationships, but if you have a question about money, we could talk about money and we could talk about relationships. We could talk about money and relationships, right? So if you have a question about politics, we could talk about politics, money, and relationship. Whatever your question is, you can write in to Ms. Sandra here at Let's Talk About It, and we can talk about it, right? I am not a professional. I'm not perfect by no shape of the imagination, right? But sometimes talking to someone else can give you a different perspective on things. So that's all this portion is getting a different perspective, and perhaps my perspective to you may be okay. I think I appreciate Miss Sandra's advice, or she gives me something else to think about or talk about. So let's dig into it and let's talk about it, right? So we have Phyllis from Miami, Oklahoma. Didn't know a place like that exists. And Phyllis says, Miss Sandra, relationships and money, can they work? Oh, Phyllis, you are hilarious without being funny. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Um, now, some people would say that it can't, and I would be thinking maybe because you have one partner that's a spender and one partner that's a saver, right? This question just came up in my circle of friends, and it's a small circle, right? Because I don't roll just with anybody, you know what I'm saying? I got charges. But, however, with that being said, the question came to the table, and it was like, if you're in a marriage, should it just be one pot of money? Should it just be one? We shouldn't have these separate accounts, right? So I've always thought that, if you're in a marriage, let's start with the marriage first, like we have one general pot, you know, and that's the pot where our major bills come out of, right? So that's your mortgage, that's your rent, that's your utilities, possibly car notes, I don't know. But for the bulk of the household, that's where the major expenses come from. And then you have your own separate account, which is your own personal needs. Some people may agree with that, some people may not. It just is what it is. It's about those two people. Now, in relationships, should you have a joint account? Well, allegedly, a marriage is somewhat a stronger commitment than a relationship, but people are just stopping with the, um, what do you call it? I forget the name. It slips me. Common law now, so they're just not even getting to the altar, right? That bad boy is getting further and further away, right? But however, in a relationship, I think it's possibly the same premise, but um, I say it's all about those two individuals. Either you're going to share the spot, or you're going to share the pot, or you're going to split the pot. But relationships and money, um, I don't mind having one general pot and then the side ones. So it just is what it is. Um, and I don't really necessarily believe in friends loaning friends money. For some reason, they always come. They never pay it. They never pay it back, and they always try to come back and get more. And sometimes that can sell your relationship, right? So there you go. Phyllis, I hope this helps. And thank you so much for writing in to as Miss Sandra and also being a faithful viewer of Let's Talk About It. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. And we just talked about it on Ask Miss Sandra.
We're back, audience, and I'm sorry to say we've come to the end of another episode. But it was wonderful. We had a wonderful time, ladies.
Yes.
Okay. And so, but what my prayer for you is that you stay encouraged and that you keep at whatever you are pursuing. Do not give up.
And if you have a special talent out there you like to showcase, let me know and let me put you in the spotlight so we can share you amongst the people. It's your girl Tam.
Perhaps you have something, you have a question you want to get off your chest and share with the community, write in. Let's talk about it.
And so glad to have you. It's your girl Moni. And when you want to look us up, remember our name is our address.
And we'll see you next time on Let's Talk About It.